The Jeopardy Room, a matter of life and death. Major Ivan Kuchenko sits in a hotel room with 3 hours to live. That's the setup. But as with all things in the Twilight Zone, the real prison isn't the room. It's the mind that believes in jeopardy at all. A Course in Miracles teaches that anything real cannot be threatened, and anything unreal does not exist. Jeopardy means danger of loss, the threat of harm, the shadow of death. But what does the Son of God know of danger? Nothing. And so the entire episode is an elaborate projection of what never was. A telephone that promises death, a sniper's bullet that never lands, a commissar's game of power that ends in his own undoing. The trap of the ego. Commissar Vassilov thinks himself an artist of death. He spins elaborate rules, subtle traps, refined executions. His assistant Boris is the blunt instrument, the sniper waiting to fire from a distance. Together they represent the ego's split strategy. Brutal force on one hand, refined deception on the other. But both serve the same purpose, to keep the mind locked in fear. The telephone becomes the perfect symbol. On its own it is neutral, a device of communication, just as the body is in A Course in Miracles. But the ego wires it with dynamite and declares, "If you answer, you die." That is the thought system of separation in a nutshell. What should connect becomes the means of destruction. What should extend love becomes the instrument of fear. The sniper and separation. Boris, the sniper, insists he could take the major's head from a distance. That's the ego's entire game. Distance. Separation. Shoot from afar. So the illusion of me versus you stays intact. Why not come face to face? Because face to face, the illusion falls apart. Attack would be seen as a bullet to one's own head. And yet the sniper never fires a killing shot. 3 hours of turmoil, paranoia, and begging for release prove worse than a single bullet. Kuchenko's agony is mental. The execution already happened in his thoughts. That's the cruelty of the ego's trap. It doesn't need to kill the body to torment the mind. The telephone that never rings. Here's the genius. Kuchenko picks up the phone when it does not ring, and nothing happens. The trap is not real until he agrees to play the game. Just like the tiny, mad idea of separation. It only seems to have consequence if answered. Every grievance is like that phone call. The ego rings demanding response. Be angry. Defend yourself. Take this personally. But nothing happens unless the call is answered. No matter how loud the bell, no matter how threatening the commissar's voice, the line is dead unless the mind consents. The two parties on the line. Rod Serling closes with the reminder, there are always two parties on the line. That is the mirror. The Commissar and Boris believed they held Kuchenko's life in their hands. But in truth, they only rigged their own device. By picking up the call themselves, they answered the death they had projected. Kuchenko walked free not because he was cleverer, but because he chose differently. Spirit teaches that the world is nothing but a call and response. Fear calls, and fear answers. Love calls, and love answers. The choice is never between life and death, but between illusion and truth. Kuchenko chose not to answer the ego's call. That is why he walked into the light of freedom. Booby traps of the mind. The commissar brags of artistry, of finesse, of killing with ballet instead of butchery. That's the ego's subtlety, dressing up pain as sophistication. A Course in Miracles unmasks this easily. There are no good deaths, no artistic torments. Death itself is the belief that the eternal can end. The insane conviction that separation is real. Whether subtle or brutal, it is the same lie. Kuchenko's 3 hours in the room are every mind's 3 hours in the world. The grinding suspense of time, the desperate hunt for hidden bombs, the illusion of being watched, judged, and trapped. Yet the door is always unlocked. The Son of God is always free. The holy flip. The Commissar forgot the one truth that undoes the entire game. Every attack is self-attack. Every trap is self-laid. Every bullet is self-fired. Every phone call is self-answered. In believing he could kill Kuchenko, Vassilov only wired the phone to his own undoing. The call he placed was the call that destroyed him. That's the flip. The ego's argument always has two parties, and both are the same mind. Attack has never left its source. Kuchenko knew it in the end. It's all right, operator. I have reached them. The Jeopardy Room as the world. The Jeopardy Room is not a hotel in a neutral country. It is the ego's entire world. The neutral stage where love and fear seem to wrestle for dominance. But neutrality is impossible. The mind will choose to answer or not to answer, to see jeopardy or to see safety, to play the game of bombs and snipers, or to walk out the door into light. Freedom was never purchased by ingenuity. It was never purchased at all. Freedom simply is. The Major discovered what the Commissar could not, that the telephone was never his enemy, and the room was never his prison. He discovered that to answer the ego is to die, but to leave it unanswered is to live. And so the Jeopardy Room was not a place at all, but a state of mind. A state of mind called the Twilight Zone.